That's Trey.
And that's Goldie.
We're friends
From college.
Then Trey married my sister.
But unfortunately, we got divorced.
We don't talk about that.
Mostly because there's nothing to talk about.
It was all good.
Our friendship deepened while we were both employed at an event production consulting company.
Yep, we spent 280 plus days on the road.
Which made us expert business travelers.
And expert best friends who always had one goal in mind.
To host a podcast together. And after people didn't like the first 6 shows, including one where we interviewed building contractors in the Upper Peninsula while they were working.
And one where we searched the country for the next great kid blues guitarist.
We realized we weren't making shows about our true passion.
We had to talk about the thing we know and love more than anything.
Welcome to Business Trips. Welcome to Business Trips. This week we're going to talk to a great new guest about their business travel tips. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This episode of Business Trips is brought to you by the Wende Museum. I think I'm saying that right. Curious about the Cold War? Let us be your guide to unlimited exploration of one of the singular geopolitical and cultural events of our collective history. Wende is a German word meaning turning point or change. And so that is the name of our museum that is dedicated to the transformative period around the fall of the Berlin Wall. The Wende is filled with provocative art and artifacts from the Cold War period. Visit us and explore some of the recovered Cold War era artifacts from Eastern Europe and Russia and decide for yourself what it all means. Still not sure if we're for you? Do you like busts? We thought so. Check out our busts. We've got busts of Stalin and nobody has more busts of Lenin. Wow. Visit us soon. Take in a lecture. Dig deeper into the contextual mysteries of a period that defined the shape of our world. Located in Culver City, just blocks away from Sony Studios, and Chipotle, just east of the Target and Bed Bath & Beyond, and 2 blocks south of Starbucks and Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Wow.
That's a cool one.
I didn't know that that's a real place, and I didn't know that, but you
didn't know about the Cold War.
I did, but
told
not
you,
a lot.
To our listeners, I'm kidding about that. Goldie knew about the Cold War, of course.
A little bit, but I'm going to go there and check it out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It sounds like it's kind of laid out for you exactly where it is if you rewind and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Can't miss it. I'm excited about our guest.
Me too.
We've got a very special guest. This is rare for us, but
Okay.
They didn't even tell me what great tip they're going to be giving to our listeners yet.
Actually,
and I'm excited to find out along with them.
I kind of like that. Like, I
do
like
too.
this. It's a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. So this is Alex Digley.
Hey, you guys.
Welcome, Alex.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, my God. I am so stoked. I'm a big fan of business travel, and I'm a big fan of you guys.
Thanks for
love
being
that.
a fan of business travel and of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've loved business traveling, obviously, for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about what put you on the road? And sorry to barrage, but then once you're on the road, what are your likes and dislikes?
Great question.
Okay, not a barrage. I travel for, I'm a jingle writer, and I travel from town to town, city to city, state to state, and I write jingles for small, it's not always small, but small to medium range restaurants. So before it's a Chipotle, if it's chips, I'm writing the jingle for it.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool because you never think about it. You hear them on the radio, and you're going. For me, I'm like, that just fell out of the sky, I suppose. We got the best something, and you're like, that's a fun song.
Yeah.
I really liked that. And you don't think about the writing, the recording that must go into that.
Because a jingle can be, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a jingle can be as brief as "I'm loving it," or
Well, those aren't the notes, but are you doing McDonald's?
yeah. But I mean, my point is, they're real.
They can be short. You were right
real
about that.
short. It's I think people think jingles. They go, wow, it's 988 or 588. The Empire carpet.
200-300
Thank you.
Empire.
Is that you?
Today? That was me.
What? Wow.
That
you
was
kidding
me. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, I did that first pass of it. That was down a third, and then they rewrote it up a third, and that's the one that you are probably familiar with.
Were you okay with that?
Yes.
Of course.
Because
Of
you're
course.
thinking of 800-588-2300.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did 800-588.
Oh.
I like that better.
I do like that better, but
I'm
that's
tone
how
deaf.
like it's like the Bob Dylan bootlegs. You know, sometimes you're like, I guess I didn't need so much added symbols or whatever. You
The
know.
basement tapes.
Sorry, the basement tapes. Yeah.
Right, that.
So that takes you on the road.
I'm kind of like a hired gun for this stuff. So I just have an ear, and I have a taste that, you know, a lot of the jingles that you're probably familiar with today, they almost fade into the background. So if you think of the last Chipotle ad you saw, you know, it probably had some kind of sick beat underneath of it. There were these warm tones. It was meant to inspire you, like it's supposed to make you feel like you could dance while you eat the burrito.
Right.
A lot of medium-sized companies, they want something that sounds a little bit like shit.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be annoying? Some of them are annoying, and then I think about it all day, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, maybe that was."
Oh, they got
what
me.
You
They
got,
got
me.
me.
Okay, I'll buy a mattress
big
or
part
whatever.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and stinker is one of the things that we say.
Oh, that's one
It
of your
That
things.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
Absolute
use that.
shit.
Hook. So all right. Let's walk us through the walk us through the process. Thank you. Walk us through the process. You get now you are a lone wolf as a hired gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do they find you? Who's reaching out? Do you have an agent? How does it work?
Where are you at when? We'll do those, and then where are you at when you first? They probably just call you at home. Sorry, just do his.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can incorporate that too. Where are you when you get a call? I'm guessing just about anywhere. We get calls. This guy called me today. He goes, "How are you talking to me from your shower?" I'm like, "It's called speakerphone."
He's got speakers in his shower so he can talk. In
Well,
the shower.
that's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Then
Yeah.
you're never really alone. You never have a minute to yourself.
And I don't like to be alone.
Yeah. Well, it's scary.
It's terrifying. I slept in my sister's bed until I was 13.
Was she there too?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, to his point though, of earlier,
We can cut that.
that what's it like to? So they say,
Yeah.
hey, we're making spicy chicken in
Yeah.
in Tahoe.
What they'll say is that it's usually some kind of, well, a lot of the things that we also, terms like mom and pop,
Yep.
they're not happening as much anymore. So it's, yeah, sure, it started as a mom and pop, but now it's 50 years down the line, and it's some son, you know, a couple generations removed, and he's absolutely sick of the restaurant. He doesn't want to be involved. It's absolutely ruined his life.
Yeah.
He's got gout. He lost the love of his life. He's been working his
Yeah.
fingers to the bone for this
Yes.
damn place or whatever.
Right.
Yes, and so there's, at that point, it's, you know, the mom and pop might have been able to write something cute of like, come and get our, you know, something along the lines of
Right.
something they're proud of. The son has no love for this place.
Right.
He hates
It's
it.
just-
It has wrecked him.
It's resentment. It's
Yeah.
resentment at this
He's
point.
got a slip disc that's killing him or whatever.
I feel like you're thinking of a particular
All
did you-
day at
who are you
work, he thinks
referencing?
about getting to the bath, get home to get in the bath. My ex,
not my sister.
no, and not even my ex, but her brother had a thing where he was
Yeah.
a sad man and he had to take baths to toot.
And they ran And
I've heard of that.
and they ran a diner.
Yeah.
I might have worked with him.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Shakey's?
He
Wait.
ran Cheekies.
Cheekies.
Wow.
Did you do Cheeky? You did.
Yeah,
Come down to Cheekies.
that's me.
Have a cheeky good time.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so you're inspired by what? The story they give you about the background, or do you go visit this place, get a feel for it, and then start writing?
What I'll do is I'll usually get some kind of letter or a phone call from this restaurant, and they will kind of pitch their case to me. So it's usually pretty sad, you know.
Oh.
It's I've been doing this for 25 years. I wanted to be this. I wanted to be this, and I'm, you know, I do take all that into account.
That ends up in the Jingles sometimes.
A lot of times,
wow.
yeah.
As a feeling or actually lyrically?
You can tell some of the jingles that I've made where the resentment is palpable. You know, less
Wow.
music, more percussive. Yeah, like, come get your pancake lovin', miss my daddy's watch.
Oh, see, that one I heard miss my daddy's watch.
Yeah.
And was that from the person's life story?
Yes.
Because normally you would just hear that and you just go, miss my daddy's watch. I'm hungry for pancake. You don't even think about that.
Right.
Was.
And
just slide it in there. So you're making the client happy. And a lot of times I think what you're saying here is the customer base is none worse for the wear.
No, that the customer doesn't give a shit. They really don't. They're not tuned in that much. And that one was a particularly interesting story because he had taken over this restaurant after his father had passed. And then while he was taking over the restaurant affairs, his sister had basically gone into the father's home, liquidated all the assets, including dad's famous watch. And so when I met this guy and created a jingle for "Come Get Your Pancakes, Eat," miss your daddy's watch, he was just could not shut the hell up about the watch. It was just agony for him. And I think
you're like, let's use this.
Yes.
Right. And again, it just makes me hungry. Miss my daddy's watch.
Miss my daddy's watch.
Miss.
Mine's a little, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Where do you see
in 10, 20, or
no, that's exactly right. Where do you see Jingles going from here? Because now how do you put Jingles on
500 years from now?
But on the internet, like, do people even watch TV? I mean, I've got nieces and nephews. They only watch YouTube. And I'm like, what are you watching?
Well, now we're writing jingles for the YouTube space.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. We at some point, because you're familiar with, the advertisements that come up in between Candy Crush, right? Like you play a round of Candy Crush and then an advertisement comes on. You look like Candy Crusher.
A
little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Right now you can see his thumbs are shaking.
I got crush thumbs.
X minus 20 minutes till I get to crush.
Yeah.
Absolute crush head. Well, some of the advertisements in between those spaces that are like particularly long and irritating, I'm also starting to do.
Again, the irritation is a big thing.
Yeah, well, because a lot of it's like you're making music that is so just under your skin that you're like, okay, I'll buy it. Yes. I'll buy it.
Right.
Just stop.
Leave me alone.
Stop.
Is it who did the "Give Me That Baby Back, Baby Back, Baby Back, Baby"? Was that
Ray Charles?
No, I think Chili's.
Oh yeah,
about the ribs. About the ribs.
Yeah, I knew, and for the record, I knew.
Didn't seem like it. Seemed like you thought I was talking about a Ray Charles song. I'm talking about some of my favorite jingles. Give me that baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Barbecue sauce.
Well, and
was that you?
No, but I'm saying like
it sounds so much like it.
Thank you.
I think it was Ray.
Finally, something
Charles.
in
your
register.
Huh? My baritone guy.
I didn't know until just now.
That's good. You should only sing that.
Well,
stick to that. The question we all have is, do you have? So you're. It sounds like a reaction is a big part of it.
Gut feel.
And sure. That I'm saying, do you have an audience that you try them out for, and when they're like, I'm a little irritated and can't get it out of my head, you go, I have it.
The audience that we're going for is Americans who are dissociative. So a lot of the people that are watching even an advertisement for a medium-sized restaurant, they're watching it. They still have cable, which means they're watching it on a real television set inside of their house. They've probably been watching hours of it. They maybe not. They turned on the TV and this is the channel that they're on. Right. And so we're kind of, because Americans are so dissociative at this point, everything's meant to dull.
Right.
I'm trying to make you irritable and enraged.
Wow.
Right.
Because that actually is the only emotion that starts to poke through, right?
Wow.
And that gets people to buy, but also maybe kill. Do you think anyone's ever
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
killed because of one of your songs?
Huh. There was if I'm remembering it right, there's this automotive, this, I guess.
O'Reilly.
It wasn't that one, but also a good one for your range.
Okay.
This was one that was down on, I think it was outside of Chicago, and the song was for this like auto parts place, and it was, drive on down, fix it up at the fix it, rip it, fix it stuff.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Fix it, rip it.
Fix it, rip it. Yeah. And then, so wait, someone murdered after that,
Well,
or because of it?
It's dangerous. It's because it's powerful.
No, I mean, I'm saying I could see it.
I don't think anyone killed because of that song, but when I think about the time period after that song came out,
There was an increase in murder in general.
You know,
'cause
sometimes
fix it, rip it. As you look back on it, it was a sort of a violent jingle.
big time. Yeah, fix it, rip it, fix it.
It's screaming. It was also
My thing is, what were they
one.
saying to rip? Like, I get the fixing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're gonna rip it apart.
Yeah.
It was also like 4 minutes long.
It was so long. You know, I was actually going to ask you about the Sarah McLachlan with the dogs that are all dying.
Yeah.
That's not a jingle. That's a song that they use for it.
I call it a jingle.
Okay.
Now it's a jingle. It's less of a song. When is the last time that you heard that song that you weren't looking at dead dogs?
Just on the radio, right? And maybe she wrote it, you know, you don't know the chicken and egg of that one. Maybe she wrote it as for the ASP.
Let's do a speed round, and you name for me
Oh, great.
who this retailer is, and if you could, because I'm sure you have did you have a mentor?
Oh, I had a mentor. Yes, it's the person who wrote the Skyline Chili theme song.
And what is that?
How does that go again?
Because that's a regional.
That is a regional one, and this is very, very authentic. Whenever you're feeling good and hungry, it's Skyline time. Gather together with friends and family, it's Skyline time.
Wow.
Wholesome, hearty food and a taste that's so divine. Together, at last, it's Skyline time.
Wow.
I think you have
That
to have
was
an
your
amazing,
mentor?
an amazing voice to be. That's
Thank you. You have to have at least a B+ voice to do jingles, not better.
That's an A. That's an A.
That was
That's a flat
A+.
I'll start smoking again.
Oh, you want a little rasp.
It has to, well, you know that fix it, rip it.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right. There was definitely a rasp
Yeah.
to whoever you guys got for that one.
I don't like Skyline Chili.
Rip it apart.
I don't like Skyline Chili. The consistency of it. I wanted to explain. We're trying to share here.
Well, I think as a whole at the podcast, we like Skyline Chili.
Locally, one of my favorites, I would have to say, is I love Tito's tacos. You love Tito's too. The only thing better than a Tito's taco is to. I think it's short. It's concise.
I like that one.
It doesn't make me want to murder. I can tell you that.
Not
Other
just
than
fix it, rip it,
their
no.
tacos.
But that's interesting because the Tito's guy was killed.
Maybe by.
He was killed.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was killed by his wife's brother. A lot of weird family stuff.
Do you have any respect for the person who wrote Liberty, because that's just saying it.
Fuck that guy. Sorry.
Is that not
We
the
can cut
most
that.
enraged you've ever been though? Every time you hear that.
Oh,
Liberty,
so they-
liberty, 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 liberty. It's so
they-
smug.
I swear, sometimes they add one more than the last time. Some of them have 5 or 6.
That is probably true, and that is meant to throw you off. It's meant to make you feel psychotic.
So they're good. It's like
good.
It's like I hate that.
Are we talking about it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah, that's the thing. This stuff it gets inside you. Like you said, you had a word for it. You said it gets under your skin.
Yeah.
And I think when people use that term, they don't necessarily mean that in a positive. But I think if you're the client, that's the goal, right?
Yeah. We want to be in your ears, under your skin, so that we can get in your belly.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really smart.
Because you go in the ear, under the skin, and I guess you meet at the throat and go down to the belly.
Yeah.
Yes. The music goes in. It passes through the skin into the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
wow.
you swallow it.
And once it's in your mouth, you just hope the person swallows the jingle
Right.
and then goes and gets the food and swallows it. I like that.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense to me.
Huh. How'd you know?
Wait, how did you know about all this? in the end?
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
You just learned piano or
how'd you know?
Oh, how did I learn about
you were
music?
good at it and you wanted to do it and that you could make a living doing it? And that's one of the things that Trey and I talk about a lot.
Yes.
Is how do we get to the point? I think a lot of people believe, oh, these guys, this is their job.
Yeah.
Not yet, right?
Well, I started. I would go to restaurants, and at the time I was traveling around pretending to be a volleyball coach.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was when you drive around small cities, and you go there, and they're like, "What are you in town for?" And you go, well, "I'm a coach for a volleyball team, and we're in town for the weekend."
They're back at the hotel. Did they ever ask where the team was?
No.
Oh.
And if they say where are they playing, you say the convention center.
Right. It's kind of a talented
game.
Mr. Ripley. Kind of
Big
a talented Mr. Ripley thing, but
Yes.
for
Right.
Jingles.
Catch me if you can.
Catch
maybe?
me-
I haven't
yeah.
seen
But,
that yet,
and
but-
part of it was just I want people to treat me like a visitor, so that I get the a really fun experience.
Right.
And the other part of it is you never want anyone to think that you're traveling alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you can get killed in a lot of these
I
places.
wondered if that's where that. Yes,
We're
you have to be
traveled.
like, good luck getting past my volleyball team.
Yeah.
You might get 2 or 3 of them, but
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
they'll get their full weight on you, and then you're not strangling anyone.
Well, and that's right, because I started by telling them that they'd ask, like, some people would get more specific. They'd say, well, how old are the girls? And I'd say, well, they're 12. And then they'd follow me back to wherever I was staying.
You have to say.
I have to
See,
say
this is an
17-year-old.
This is an adult league.
Yeah. I say
the team.
17-year-old boys.
Yeah.
And no one wants to be around them.
Yeah, a bunch of cranks.
The smell.
I hate my
smells
team.
alone.
Yeah, they're all punching each other all the time. I just need a break and to come
Yeah.
here. So you're at the restaurant. You're lying about the boys, and then you go, huh? I see that you guys have a little leprechaun logo, and you got some hot wings over here.
Right.
Hot wings for your little shillelagh or what?
Yeah.
You know.
Or I'll say, what's your favorite dish? Show me your favorite dish.
Oh, that's
Oh,
better.
yeah.
And then they'll put something in front of me, and usually it's one of the more mediocre things you've ever had.
Right.
So which actually gets your brain moving, because you're like,
Right.
how would I describe this if I'm trying not to be offensive? So let's say it's mashed potatoes. You immediately go, let's get smashed on mashed potatoes. That I haven't lied.
How do you? The idea that you can just come up with this
Thank
stuff. Your
you.
brain does it.
Thank you.
I mean, because I'm thinking that right now. I'm thinking like, Arby's, we got the beef.
You were thinking that when she was talking about mashed
Yeah,
potatoes?
because I'm like, that is like lovely. Meanwhile, there's someone that's doing the Arby's thing. It's not. It's like boom, 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 and then which is like someone on a keyboard, and then there's just like in my mind, there's like a character actor, and he's just like, Arby's, we got the beef.
I bet people have killed because of that one, by the way. That one also feels
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
people on the edge.
we actually call that a marriage saver in the industry.
What does that mean?
Well, it usually, if somebody's raging out and they hear that one, it kind of like distracts them, and the wife escapes.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
That makes sense.
So the people are arguing,
Yeah.
and then he hears, "We've got the means," and
Not the beans.
well, I said it right actually.
Well, it's the whole thing is about beef.
It's actually meats.
Well, you didn't say meats. You said beans.
I said meats. But she gets away. I think
Right, she gets away.
Alex's point.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, well,
and
because
and
that one's
that's
targeted towards the male brain. It's probably why it's sticking in
Yeah.
yours.
Interesting. That's something to think about too. Is like you're going. We need the women. We need the younger men. There's all these. What do they call it?
Right.
Quadrants or
Old women.
old women plus young guys. They meet in the
Old
middle.
women are buying more.
Oh my god!
I just read about this. Old women are buying more.
Huge
and more.
buying power.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
I think because they know they're on their way out, and
Yep.
what joy do we have left
Yeah.
Right.
but to consume?
Yeah. And Mad Men. They see Mad Men, and they see those women are buying stuff.
I thought I saw the actor that plays. Is his name Duck?
Yeah. You saw him? Have you ever seen Duck?
No, he doesn't.
Me either.
Yeah.
Alex Digley.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
I remembered what I wanted to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try your jingles out on a neighbor ever? You call
love
up
that question.
your aunt and you're like, here's one, and she's like, that's a little irritating, and you're like, uh-oh.
A lot of people have not loved this method, but you know the term sweet nothings, like you're post-coital, you're in bed with your partner.
You whisper them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who started that?
Me.
Wow.
The idea of sweet nothings?
Wow. Because I've been hearing
So
about
they're
that.
racing.
I'm amazed
You're
because
young.
Alex is young, but Alex is behind a lot of the stuff that I thought.
Kind of a gump. A
And
little
that-
bit of a forced gump.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking of sweat nothings.
Okay.
Sweat nothings. That was
That was
a
a
thing
different
previous to this.
That's old.
Yes.
Sweet
So in the
nothings are
70s.
last
Uh-huh.
15 years.
Got it.
Wow, and
Got
the
it, got it,
you
got it.
started.
Yeah.
And sometimes in your sweet nothings there will be a jingle.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that.
And because you practice, like we all do these little songs that are like,
Yeah.
get out of bed and get me some coffee, I'll hurt myself again.
Oh.
You know?
Wow, that one. You didn't sell?
Because some of these can be very personal.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm learning.
A lot of them
Well,
start out as like a thing you want
Yeah.
Right.
the other person to get you from bed.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Yes, but those, it's because I'm whispering them too. I'm trying not to get to the volume. But if you
Yes.
hear that same thing, get out of bed and get me some coffee, or I'll hurt myself again.
Right.
And then, like, I
How
want coffee.
bad?
I mean,
You
it's
want
like-
coffee?
Yeah, you're like, I need it. I gotta
Right.
save this person.
Yes, it's about dynamics. It's like a lot of the stuff that we say in our normal life is gonna sound better if we're yelling it and kind of like,
Gritting your teeth.
Right.
Yes.
yes, that's the stuff that makes people hungry.
We're gonna pay a bill here.
Well, let's pay a bill.
Folks, Business Trips is also brought to you by Joe's Crystal Gifts. It's time to spoil a beautiful loved one with a crystal gift from Joe's Crystal Gifts. Close your eyes and imagine the person you care about most unwrapping a Mastercraft vase or compote bowl. Or imagine a person you respect a good amount who just got a promotion opening a Winter Wonders Bauble Clear Rose or a small version of the Times Square Masterpiece Ball. Now imagine a beloved couple you are honored to watch be married, and they're opening a gift of 2 champagne flutes with personalized engraving that commemorates their special day forever. Various other glassware and drinkware can be engraved as well, although not every piece of glassware and drinkware can be engraved, of course. Anyway, now imagine your banker or credit card company calling to tell you that you didn't have to spend a lot for those things to happen. It's time to make your imaginations into realities. Joe's Crystal Gifts at 5131 Sunset Boulevard. Imagine success.
I mean, that one's ready for a jingle, I would
I
think.
thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should bug Alex to
I
come up
know.
with some for some of these businesses that are nice enough to sponsor us. They may appreciate it.
I couldn't agree more, and I think a few of them need them. They need them.
Yeah.
And they don't even know. I think people think that jingles are. If jingles fall out of favor, like where are jingles in the ad world as far as the popularity of them? Are we in a new era of them?
Jingles aren't going anywhere. You will never watch a commercial that doesn't have some form of music in it because we understand how important it is to the consumer. And that's why it's been actually such a privilege of mine to be able to take my skills, from state to state and find these restaurants that maybe aren't able to blow $100,000 on a song. And instead they spend, $20,000 on me, and I write something that they use for the next, hopefully for eternity. I'm writing stuff that I'm trying to make evergreen,
Yeah.
You make them 2024 proof. Even if the the whole world at that point is a burned out, desolate snake pit, your jingle is going to be...
What do you know?
Well...
Someone went to Joe's Crystal Gifts and looked into one of the
crystal
balls.
Crystal ball.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Well, this is something I got to read too.
Here we go.
Today's episode of Business Trips is dedicated to a longtime and valued member of our Business Trips family, and that is Terry Cloth Takayama.
Terry.
There are so many people that help make us sound good here, and it's not only the technical aspects that make that possible. Terry is the guy who runs a little booth at the driving range near our studio here that we like to go to blow off some steam. Terry's humor is drier than an overcooked Thanksgiving turkey, we like to say. But his flair for making change and dispensing the tokens for the ball machine was only matched by the colorful array of pins and buttons he had affixed to his signature pale blue terry cloth bucket hat. And that is where his nickname came from, his hat. The hat had over 65 pins on it that were reflections. I'm having trouble now. I think it's emotions and... The hat had over 65 pins on it that were reflections of his diverse interests. Tabby Kittens, cartoon dump trucks, the Allman Brothers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, CSI New Orleans, and the Mondale Ferraro campaign, to name just a few. Terry was always quick to share some of his homemade Chex Mix around the holidays. Going to miss that.
That's right.
As well as that little giggle that always seemed to say, "You two are no good at golf." That's true. He also did say that sometimes. Terry, we're going to miss you every time we head off to the driving range. Terry died yesterday. We are waiting on an autopsy, but he was a healthy enough guy. We don't know what happened there. But Everyday Fourth will be a little less enjoyable without him here. But if we knew Terry, he would want us to take his absence in stride and keep swinging, so to speak, for that dented fence at the back of the range.
Yeah, keep swinging.
Really sad.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Do you have any intel?
Nothing so far. Just that they found that he was fully cold when they found him.
Yeah.
So it'd been a little bit. That's all we
Was
know.
There is some question about asphyxiation of some kind, but we're waiting to find out about that.
Could be a bag over the head or something. They invented sweet nothings.
Yeah.
That's something
Alex.
I didn't even know to be doing in the intro. I'm happy to be doing it in an outro.
Yeah.
Alex, this was a treat.
Thank you. And I just, real quick, just because you asked, and I don't think I ever said it, but when you go to a city, the one thing I recommend when you travel is to make a jingle about that town so that you never forget it.
Everybody out there, leave your jingles in the comments. If you're able to do a link to maybe an audio file or a Dropbox link.
WeTransfer is fine.
Do a WeTransfer link in the comments under this episode with your jingles from various towns.
And we may need to, at some point, visit the idea of working with Alex on a new theme for our show.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You know I'd love to do it.
Oh!
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
This is Business Trips.
Business Trips.